Hello, it's Jim Hutchins for the Jerusalem Connection Truth Report for this week. I want to quote from a Messianic leader from Israel, Ron Cantor. He's in the leadership team of Tiferet Yeshua, meaning the glory of Jesus. That's a Messianic congregation in Tel Aviv, started by Ari and Shira Sokoram in the 90s. And he's talking about something that is very basic to the understanding of the difference between much of Judaism and Christianity. He's talking about what God means when he speaks in Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. This is what he says. He says, Genesis chapter 1, verse 26 is definitely a reference to God's triune nature. And he says, I can prove it. Triune nature. One God, Yahweh, three manifestations, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. He said, let's read the whole verse. Genesis 1:26. Then God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let him have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the birds of the heaven, over the livestock, over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps on the earth. So God created man in his own image. The image of God, he created them. Male and female, he created them. God says to someone, or to someones, he says, let us make man in our image. So in there, and there being to whomever he is speaking, so in their image man will be created. But it could not be the angels. The angels were not given dominion to rule. God says of man, let the man and woman, let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the birds of the heaven, over the livestock, over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps on the earth. Angels, according to the book of Hebrews, chapter 1, are, quote, ministering spirits sent out to serve for the sake of those who inherit salvation. Angels serve us, mankind, who are inheriting salvation. Angels serve us as believers in carrying out God's will on earth. They're not rulers. Therefore, he could not have been speaking to the angels. And it says God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him. In case there's any confusion, he adds, quote, in the image of God, not the angels, he created them. So to whom was God speaking? Clearly, the Godhead. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit made this decision in complete unity. Genesis chapter 1, the beginning of the Bible. Even the Hebrew word for one that is recited in the Shema, Deuteronomy 6, Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord your God is one. One. Connotes unity and plurality. To mean one, you could use the word Yahid, which means an individual or a single unit. But Yachad, as it is used in the Shema, means one in unity. Not singularity, but in unity. For instance, if you add the prefix, quote, be, be, to the word, you get be Yachad. It means together, or more literally, in unity. Yachad, we come together, be a Yachad. Many of us in unity. If I were preaching on the importance of unity, I would not say that we need to be Yahid, a single individual, but that we need to be Yachad, one in unity. Let me give you a better example. Yachad emphasizes unity, whereas Yahid emphasizes a single unit, a single entity. Yachad emphasizes unity and plurality. But if I were to say to the elders of the congregation, act as one, I would use Yachad, oneness and unity. God tells the Israelites that he is Yachad, not Yahid, in the most famous passage in the Hebrew Bible, Deuteronomy 6:4, the Shema. While the triune nature of the only true God is complex and difficult for our infinite minds to fully comprehend, there can be no question that God is revealing this to us. And he begins immediately in the very first chapter of the book of Genesis, and it's replete throughout both the Hebrew Scriptures, the Old Testament and the New. One God, Yahweh. Three manifestations, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. All in unity. Yachad. And that's the truth.